And joining me here on the set is our international affairs editor, Philip Turle. Philip, these are very disturbing accounts, very disturbing images. We're talking about possible war crimes here. How are they investigated, and could Russia face any consequences?
Well, those are two very distinct questions. The first one is, of course, there is more and more proof coming forward, and much of that proof is local proof, witness accounts from those who were there, photos that are taken, videos that have been made, messages that have been posted on social media. All of this is building up to construct a pretty perfect picture of what has happened on the ground in Bucha, and it's going to be very hard, even though the Russians are denying it up until now, for them to carry on denying it in the future, which is what they will more than likely do. But there is more and more evidence coming in that these war crimes, these massacres, these killings of men, women and children who were civilians, which is against the laws of war, it has to be reminded, actually did take place. And this may not be the only area in Ukraine where this is happening. It's because the Russian troops are pulling out right now that we are beginning to see the atrocities that were committed while they were occupying the area. On the second question, how can they be investigated? Well, there are going to be international investigators who are going to come in. I think the only way that this can go forward from now onwards is for the Ukrainian authorities to call in independent investigators to go through with a fine-tooth comb what they see. That's why they've left the bodies in the streets in many areas, so that the investigators can come in and see with their own eyes what has happened there and to draw their own conclusions about the role of the Russians, what the Russian forces have been doing, and what the actual complete picture is of what has happened there. Now, on the other issue that you mentioned about how easy it would be to go further with this, to take this to the International Criminal Court, for example, that is where things become much more complicated, for the simple reason that Russia is not a member of the International Criminal Court, and for Vladimir Putin or Russian officials to be taken and put on trial, there needs to be a resolution within the United Nations Security Council, and Russia is a member of the United Nations Security Council Permanent 5, which means they have a veto power. So any attempt by the other members to bring Vladimir Putin or Sergei Lavrov, for example, the foreign minister, to the court or to face trial will be automatically vetoed by the Russians. So it's a very long shot, but that doesn't undermine the fact that an investigation can take place. And there's been this enormous backlash from the international community, from France, the UK, the United States, all over the place, expressing their horror about what they can see. And all of that, of course, is not doing the Russian authorities any favors at all.
Okay, International Affairs Editor Philip Turle. Philip, thanks so much for that.